changement.
Hello and welcome to a beautiful evening here in China and round 3 of the IFSC Boulder World Cups. I'm Charlie Bosco, I have Alana and we're live in Nanjing. The capital city of China's Jiangsu province, and previously the capital of the whole country during several previous dynasties, Nanjing lies on the banks of the huge Yangtze River and is 300 kilometers west-northwest of Shanghai. Now with a population of over 8 million people, Nanjing is one of the 4 great ancient capitals of China and was, for much of the 15th century, the world's largest city, and traces of prehistoric settlements dating back 500,000 years have been found here. Nowadays, Nanjing is a sporting and cultural hub of Western China, being home to some of the country's best-known artists, not to mention a varied and interesting food scene and a bustling nightlife. And Alana, unfortunately you're not in the final this week, but you were last week in Chongqing. What was that experience like?
Oh, it was so exciting. I couldn't believe it. I've been training all year, and then to have it, come all together in this competition was so exciting.
And you've had a look at the boulders for this evening's final. What is your first impressions of them?
They look pretty dynamic, pretty jumpy, and it looks like it's going to be a great show.
Which is what we've seen in previous rounds so far here in Nanjing. Very dynamic boulders, very physical. It's a steep wall, relatively small. It's not that wide, but all the panels are steep with one exception. There is one slab in the men's final this evening, none in the women's. It's a tough question, but of the climbers in the men's and the women's competition, who do you think these boulders will suit?
I think for the men, it'll be, the ones that stand out to me as good at jumping would be Manu Cornu and Tomoa Narasaki. And for the women, Yanya's looked unstoppable this year. How can I not say Yanya? But of course, Miho and Shauna in the mix. It's going to be a good show.
It'll be a close final. And we managed to grab a word with him earlier on today. And also, Yane Kruder, watch out for his headwear.
Well, the round was, today's semi-finals round was really good actually. I kind of like the boulders, and the main problem was the heat, but maybe not for the friction, but for concentration. And yeah, I was able to keep my head cool, so I think that was the reason that I climbed so well.
Boulder, it's very difficult with the 8, and after I'm happy. I have a great climb today. So now the finals, it's okay.
Yeah, after Chongqing, where I didn't feel so good actually, I feel much actually more confident, and yeah, I don't know. I'm like I don't stress myself before the finals. I'll just try to do my best, and we'll see if I can get something out of it.
I have a good feeling with the first finals last week. I have a little error, so tonight I want win.
And Alana, this time last week we mentioned you were in the final in Chongqing. Just before you come on stage now, before the presentation, what was your main emotion? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Describe to us what these climbers are going through.
For me, it was my first final ever. I was mostly excited, and I was so tired at that point. I had done speed earlier in the day, and tried to sleep, but of course I couldn't because there was just so much emotion. But I think that everybody back there has been in a final before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're just focused and getting ready for these boulders.
And what's the toughest part as an athlete before a final like this? Is it coming to the venue? Is it being in isolation? What did you find was the hardest element of being in a final?
The hardest element, I think, was, for me, I'm a more shy kind of person, so being on stage when there was nobody else on stage and I knew that all the attention was focused on me, that was pretty nerve-wracking.
And I believe we can see a start list, as I mentioned. Unfortunately for Alana, not featuring her, but fortunately for us, she's alongside me. And here we go. Here are the 12 climbers we'll be seeing in action tonight. in the women's competition. Jain Kim will be joined by Aya Ono, Shauna Coxey, Miho Nanaka, Mei Kotake and Yanya Garmbret. Yanya looking in superb form again this weekend after dominating last week in Chongqing. And in the men's competition, Tomoa Narasaki very much back on form. Rei Sugimoto, Yanei Kruder, Manuel Kornu, Jongwon Chon and Keita Watabe are your men's finalists. And we can see there our wall here in Nanjing. As I mentioned, it's quite a narrow wall. It's not the biggest wall we've had. The wall in Chongqing dwarfed it, but the boulder's looking extremely dynamic. We're hoping for a very good show. And we're about to see the climbers being presented and then carrying out observation. Remember, the climbers have en masse as a group. They have 2 minutes to look at each of the boulders. When you were doing the observation last week, what was your approach to it? Were you someone that just stood and observed, or were you interested to get involved in the discussion?
Oh no, I'm always interested to get involved in the discussion. I obviously have opinions about the boulders and how they should be climbed, so I wasn't shy about getting in there and making my opinion heard.
And just give us an insight. Do most people instantly look at the boulder and think the same thing, or were you surprised how many people had different opinions?
There was some boulders that everybody thought the same thing, but there was 1 or 2 boulders where nobody really knew. We were sort of waiting in isolation in the back and being like, it could go right-left or left-right or right-right or maybe left-left, I don't know.
And does that conversation carry on after you've come down from observation, or do you just go back into isolation and you get lost in your own thoughts?
For some people, they like to go back into isolation and focus, and some people were chatting about the boulders still.
So we can see our venue here in Nanjing. It's part of a big holiday complex, and this week in China is called Golden Week. It's where pretty much the whole country is on holiday. I tried to have it explained to me, but no one could really give me a good answer. Apparently Golden Week sometimes is a full week, and sometimes Golden Week is just a long weekend. This week it's a long weekend. Nobody can really explain. It just seems to be random about whether you get a full week off or 3 days. Everyone should speak to their various unions and do something about this. But yeah, that means we're in this packed holiday village here in Nanjing. There's people camping. There's a festival of some description. There's people flying kites. There's been all sorts going on. It's been searingly hot as well, but I'm pleased to report that it is beginning to cool down. Temperature's much lower. It was extremely hot, stiflingly hot this afternoon. But in the last hour or so, it's really begun to drop off. Still quite humid, but conditions for climbing improving by the minute. And there is our first finalist, Jain Kim. Used to seeing her in Lead World Cups. Hasn't taken part in Boulder World Cup since 2013. But she's back. And then Tomoa Narasaki.
Yeah, Jain Kim made finals or semifinals, last week in Chongqing as well. So she's looking strong.
Aya Ono, one of 3 Japanese climbers in this evening's women's final, and they've matched that in the men's as well.
Yeah, I think this is the first fully 50% final, 50% Japanese final, that is.
Yeah, there was the talk of Chongqing last week was when male Japanese climbers made up half of the semi-final. This week, Japan makes up half of both finals.
Yep. And none of these Japanese girls made finals last week. It was a different Japanese girl. It was Akio Noguchi last week.
Yeah, it's an extraordinarily strong bouldering country. They almost seem to share it out. There's Yanei Kruder. We spoke to him earlier this afternoon. He was very proud of his improvised headdress, which is why we let him leave it on for the interview. I'm glad to see he's rocking a bit of a cool haircut as well. I don't know where the curving mohawk's gone.
And what happened to the stripes that Manu Kornu used to have?
I love the stripes.
And the leopard spots on the other side, that was great.
I love that. He's gone very conservative. So here's Mei Kotake. I've already seen Miho Naka come out. Chungwon Chon, last week's winner in Chongqing. I spoke to him just as he entered isolation, the isolation zone here in Nanjing. He said he feels really good, better than he did in the semi-finals, feels super strong. Keep an eye on him. Many people have got him tipped to win this evening. Here's Yanya Gambret. A lot of people also have her tipped to win in the women's competition. Extraordinary record. She's never missed the final of an IFSC Senior World Cup that she's taken part in any discipline.
It's amazing.
Finally, Keita Watabe qualified first. The climbers go in reverse order this evening. If you're first in the semi-final, you climb sixth. If you're sixth in the semi-final, you climb first in this evening's final. And they have 2 minutes to observe en masse as a group each of their boulders. And this men's one, Alana and I have just come down off the mats. We were looking at these boulders 5 minutes before we came on air. Men's one, the only slab that the men have had in the semi-finals and finals combined.
Yeah, it looks really interesting with a sort of mantle at the beginning and sort of tip across to the bonus hold and then a stand up on the last volume.
Yeah, really tricky first boulder for the men. We mentioned with some of the route setters, it's quite clever psychology. You come out full of adrenaline and you've got to calm down and instantly control yourself on a slab. Women, meanwhile, straight into a very dynamic physical boulder. There we can see a good look at men's one. Looks like Tomoe and Narasaki leading discussions. Manuel Cornu quietly figuring it out on the right of your screen. Climbers can't have all 4 points of contact off the floor during the observation. They can't attempt the boulder, in other words, they can't even attempt the first move off the mat. They can only look and touch the starting holds. See there on the right, Eddie Falk, the IFSC photographer. This is World Cup number 50 for Eddie.
Wow.
I suspect he'll be at least 50 more.
Oh, looking for some alternative betas here.
Yeah, we'll see more of it when they have their attempts, but we between us, admittedly your input is probably more valuable than mine, but between us we came up with quite a few different potential methods.
Yep, that one's complicated for sure.
And speaking of men's too, we managed to grab a word with one of our route setting team to talk us through it.
It's second problems. This problem starts with a big dynamic movement, and then after that you will see some techniques, and then after that the last second big volumes. Maybe I hope they manage to do something, and then and get the
tour again starts with a nice little jump and then goes into that corner with the 2 green bubbles, and hopefully the top will be with the people facing the crowd and should be pushed.
Apologies there, 1 or 2 formatting issues on our video. See there, Iono, Shauna Coxey, Yanya Gambret. Yeah, there's men's 2. Another powerful boulder for some already tired climbers. The women's qualifiers last night was shifted back to 7 p.m. So the female climbers climbed between 7 and 10 last night, came back in for 9:30 to climb in the semi-finals, and now they're back less than 24 hours after their qualifiers began to take part in the finals. So when you look how physical these boulders are, you would imagine fatigue will be an issue, particularly for the women.
Yeah, for sure. I think we could see it really playing a role in the climbers' performances tonight.
Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on social media, on Twitter, #IFSCWC. We are live. This is our first year being able to broadcast live from China, so make the most of it. Get in touch, #IFSCWC. Christian Latorno, he'd like to know, Alana, were you satisfied with your performance in Nanjing?
No, I was not, especially after coming off of making the finals last week in Chongqing. It was pretty disappointing for me to not even make semifinals. I was pretty nervous coming after, having expectations, such high expectations, so I had trouble dealing with those nerves this week.
You win some, you lose some. We'll be back in action in just a week's time.
Oh yeah.
But before we discuss any further, we've got another video chat with our route setters to talk us through men's and women's 3.
Okay, so here we have men's 3. It's a jump coordination move. Hopefully gonna be a nice show. I mean, as always, there might be a cheat. I hope the guys will do the jump though. And start from the big pink jug, and hopefully they won't be able to stop and just jump all the way to this big gray feature. This is basically one move or one sequence, so like I said, they won't be able to stop, and yeah, it's one hard move.
This is women's number 3 programs. This boulder looks very simple, but it requires some techniques and then some dynamic movement. And then maybe I hope the athletes show us a great performance to us, and then hope somebody get the top.
There you have it, our route setting team led by Matthias Wojcik this week. Pretty strong team, and they were just talking about women's 3 on the right there, and they're saying it looks like a simple boulder, but it's actually going to take quite a lot of precision, particularly the first move. We will see more later on. They're the starting holes. Going from there, it's easy to read, probably.
Is their hold. So if you're not precise in hitting it, you're just going to bounce right off.
So that's the climbers move on to their observation of Boulder 4. Both very physical on the steepest part of what is already a steep wall. Men's 4, the blue volumes with the yellow bolt-on holes. What were your first thoughts when you first looked at this one?
It looks like the first move's a kind of a jump that also requires quite a bit of precision because you have to hit those bolt-ons or the screw-ons, and then it's fairly straightforward but powerful to the end. So having this as Boulder 4 will be, hard.
Women's 4 as well. We were talking about how fatigue is likely to be a factor here in Nanjing after 24 very tough hours, particularly for the women, and they also finished with a steep boulder.
Yeah.
You see Jain Kim just rehearsing the moves in her head.
Yeah, this is this boulder they'll probably end up facing the crowd, and it'll be pretty exciting.
Well, we were discussing this boulder actually with some other members of Team Canada, and it looked exactly like what you're seeing on the stage now. That all of us sort of mimicking the move and trying to figure out which hand they'll lead with. You think that yellow hole there that's above Miho and Naka, you think that will be with the right hand?
No, I think that'll be with the left hand.
You decided the left?
Decided the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so they'll be facing the crowd at that stage?
Yes, once you grab that, they should be facing the crowd. And then they'll try to continue the spin and then end up with their right hand on the bonus hold.
Okay.
That's complicated, yeah.
We're now miming it in the commentary box as well, just to try and make sense of it. Complicated boulder for the women as well as powerful. In a way, it would be great if the final could come down to that, because it's going to be such a complicated boulder, it's such a powerful boulder. It's going to be a test of who's maintained their strength the best, who's read it the best. It's a great boulder to finish on. So there we go, Shauna and Yanya, the two rivals, it would seem, at this early stage of the season for winning this year's competition. Just swapping a bit of beta. And
doing pirouettes on the stage.
Jan, you're either practicing her dance moves or suggesting the twisting beat to Shauna. It's certainly how we read it. That's the athletes and coaches area here in Nanjing. Unfortunately, most of the crowd, the local crowd, are off to the side. They don't have a front-on view of the wall. So that slightly sparsely populated area you can see is coaches, route setters, friends and supporters. As the sun begins to set here in Nanjing, temperatures really dropping now. You'd be hard pushed to describe it as cold, but it's certainly a lot cooler than it was. But well into the 30s, I would have said this morning.
Oh yeah, it was brutal. I was standing out there watching the whole semifinals, and it was hot.
So the climbers will attempt all 4 boulders. So we'll have the first male climber and the first female climber out at the same time, and the second male climber and the second female climber attempt boulder 1, and so on and so forth until all 6 climbers in both categories have attempted boulder 1, and then we'll repeat the process on boulder 2, 3 and 4. And we'll do our best to keep you up to date with the scores as they come in. If you saw our semi-final coverage, we're having all sorts of problems with the scores updating, so I apologise in advance if that's an issue again today. We seem to have very fast and reliable and internet back, so long may it last, but apologies if we're not able to get the scores to you quite as often as we'd like. We will endeavour to do our best. So just a last minute delay, it would seem, here in Meiring, and I'll quickly run you through the start list one more time. Out first, having qualified 6th in the semi-final, the women's competition, Jain Kim. Fascinating to see how she gets on. Normally when we watch her lead climbing, she's slow and steady, nice and static. As we see our location here in Nanjing, we're just to the east of us is Shanghai.
Yeah, it's not too far away. It's just a couple of hours.
Not too far away. I think most of the athletes transiting through Shanghai on their way to Tokyo tomorrow and Tuesday. I was just saying Jain Kim will be out first in the women's competition. Tomoa Narasaki snuck in from the semi-final. He'll be the first male climber we see. He replaced Jan Hoyer in 6th place in the semi-final this morning with the very last boulder. Jan must have been chewing his fingernails to pieces. And we can have a quick look at the world rankings as they stand after 2 events. Shauna Cox leading the way, 180 ranking points. That's a 1st and a 2nd place. Yanni Garnbrett follows her, a 1st and a 6th place. And then it's Stasha Geo, who doesn't make the final here in Nanjing. Miho Nanaka, world champion Petra Klingler, and Katja Zauwein rounding up the top 6. Aki Noguchi, Fanny Gibert, Michaela Tracy and Sol Sa, the rest of the top 10 as things stand after 2 events. Meanwhile, in the men's competition, Alexei Rubtsov leads the way, but he did not qualify for the semi-final, let alone the final here in Nanjing. He's not taking part. He was 23rd in the qualifiers. Kokoro Fuji also misses the final. He did make the semi-final. He didn't make the final here in Nanjing. Jongwon Chon, he definitely did make it through. Kirito Watabe, Tomoa Narasaki, Rei Sugimoto, the rest of your top 6. And here is Tomoa Narasaki and Jain Kim.
It'll be interesting to see how well Jain Kim can do all these jumpy boulders today.
Yeah, she's got a fantastic style. Lead climbing, really thinks about each move, slow and steady. It might not transfer that well to the boulders here, but we thought that might be the case in the semi-final, and they transferred just fine. Qualified for tonight's final in 6th place, as did Tomoa Narasaki. First chance to see anyone in action on men's 1. Tomoa Narasaki.
Didn't like that.
No, he didn't like that. We were talking about how he might potentially go up and use the black section of wall above the start holds, but doesn't seem to be interested.
Nope. Oh, yeah, Jain Kim doesn't seem to want to jump for this.
It's a long jump, actually, and Jain is one of the smaller climbers.
Yeah.
Either needs to find new beta, you suspect, or just go 100%.
Yep.
throw herself at that move.
Yeah, I think she just needs to jump, give it all she's got.
Right, well, let's have a look how Tomoa does this, because as I say, we thought...
Oh.
Slip. Tomoa, we thought he might use that black section of wall above. You can't really tell from this camera angle, excuse me, but that black section of wall is much more overhanging. You can palm underneath it, but Tomoa, you can see it better from that angle. Tomoa choosing not to use it.
Yeah, not necessary for Tomoa. There we go. Got the bonus.
And this looks a pretty promising start from Tomoa.
Yeah.
So the route setters don't think you can just lean on the top hold. You actually need to grab it.
Nice.
No problem for Tomoa.
Awesome.
You can see on the left-hand side of men's one, by the way, that black tape.
It's really close.
Yeah, it does denote the edge of the boulder, so they can't touch around. They can't use the arete of the wall. They can't reach around the side of the wall. So you have to be careful when you go to that top hole that your feet don't cut off and touch a part of the wall around the side that you're not allowed to use. Let's have another look at Tomoa topping out.
Yeah.
There it is.
Getting
Nice.
close to the black tape, but conscious of where it is, so that's good.
Let's have a look at Jain lining up.
Come on.
Had a few questions on Twitter. Don't forget hashtag IFSCWC if you'd like to get in touch. Francesca, she wants to know what's the crowd like in Nanjing. The crowd is growing here in Nanjing as people make their way over. As I said, we're on a huge holiday vacation recreation park here in China. There's people camping and up to all sorts, and the lights are attracting people over. The crowd is growing. Say we have a crowd of... We actually don't have a very good view of the crowd, I have to be honest, Francesca. Several hundred would be my guess, including all the IFSC people. Climbing is growing at an exponential rate here in China. Just about everything is growing, to be honest.
Oh.
As we watch Jain Kim, I was just about to say, she doesn't like that.
No.
Doesn't fancy another go. I think she, I'm guessing, doesn't want to burn through too many attempts on a boulder that she doesn't feel she can do.
Yeah, she didn't really make very much progress, so I think it's smart of her to recognize that early and just save that energy.
Yeah, cut your losses, move on. Yeah, I was about to say everything is growing here in China, including participation in sport. Chongqing, where we were last week, the population in 50 years after 1945 increased from 1 million to 28.
That's insane.
So yeah, interest and participation in climbing growing very quickly here in China, as is just about everything else. And out next on the boulders we'll have Aya Ono, Japan. First of 3 Japanese climbers in this evening's women's final. And we'll have the second Japanese male climber out, Rei Sugimoto. A climber really beginning to make a dent in World Cups.
Ray, you mean?
Yes. Had a long career, but seems to be finding good form in 2017.
I think he had a shoulder injury last year, and that's you can see that top hold.
Just to let you know what the slight delay is here in Nanjing, I'm being told that they're just checking the footage when Tomoa slipped starting men's one, whether that was an attempt. The judges already have their work cut out. We were talking about the black tape denoting the left-hand edge of the boulder. Remember, the climbers also have to make a legal start, and we saw Tomoa slip. We just cut to him as he did it. If we have a replay, we will bring it to you. Just to let you know, our pictures this evening being brought to us by Chinese TV. We're not filming and directing as we do at most World Cups here. So if they have a replay, hopefully they will put it on the screen. You can see the crane cam in action. Another question on Twitter from.
Whoa.
Let's try.
Oh.
Just missing it. Hopefully we'll find a replay. We've got a slightly better view of it. Yeah, JML S Freet. Why do people with complicated Twitter handles always ask questions? I'm waiting for @John Smith to ask a question. But he wants to know, do you think Sean McCall is preserving his body during his training for a future Olympics? You know Sean well, his Canadian teammate. Do you think his training has changed with the Olympics in mind? Do you think he might be keeping something back or changing how he trains to make sure that his body holds out for another 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I think he's gonna, in the future, get more involved with sort of sports psychology and you sort of prehab, physiotherapy, all that sort of stuff. Now that he's back in Vancouver, maybe it's easier for him to have a more or less full-time physiotherapist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good phrase, prehab. I've never heard it before, but
there's rehab and there's prehab,
Of course, yeah. Injury prevention.
There you go.
Much better to prevent than to cure.
Yep.
Well, we don't have an update on the Tomoe Narasaki situation. I will tell you as soon as we know. I can see.
It says 1 top in 3, which means they counted his slip as an attempt on the score.
Are you able to see the score?
Yeah, I can see the scoreboard.
Oh, you've just spotted. We're a bit tucked away here in our commentary position here in Nanjing, and you've quite rightly spotted that if you look, if we kind of shift positions, we can actually see the scoreboard. They do seem to be updating. Yes, he is. So that slip was counted as an attempt. Well spotted. I can't see it from where I am.
There you go. I'll keep it up. Keep the updates coming then.
Keep me informed.
Oh, Rei Sugimoto trying a heel hook on the first hold there. That's interesting. It's not one of the ways that I read that boulder.
Ono, meanwhile, taller than Jain Kim. Still not what you'd call a tall climber by any means, but may have a little more joy with the women's one than Jain did.
Aya tends to be a more dynamic climber, better at the jumps than Jain Kim anyway, so. What?
Narrowly missed the semi-finals in Chongqing. Aya not only made the semis, made the finals here. Ray, just take your time. Looking at that black section of wall that I mentioned.
Yeah.
And a different method again. So he's going to try and palm the black section of wall.
Getting a little assist on the foot with his own hand there. Nice. Oh, okay.
This is tenuous from Rei Sugimoto. Second final of the year for him, 4th in Meiringen. As you say, after a disrupted season last year. No finals in 2016 in the 3 World Cups he entered. Made 2 out of 3 semis though.
But looks right back on form this year, making... yeah.
Does look right back on form. That
2
jumps.
finals and a semis. Yeah.
And that jump still looks a long way for Aya. Both climbers on the mats. Just psyching up for one more go. 4 minutes left.
Jump, Aya. Oh. Yeah, she's getting a little bit closer than Jain Kim, but not close enough.
Just to go back, J'aime les frites is the Twitter handle I was struggling to pronounce. It means I love French fries in French. J'aime les frites. Now it makes sense. I definitely didn't get that the first time round.
Yeah, now he's got...
Time becoming an issue here for Ray.
Oh yeah, the 4-minute rule. No more 4+.
No.
Oh no.
Caused some controversy, the 4+, but if you have a look at the IFSC and there'll be no joy for Aya. So women's 1 proving tough so far. I was about to say, if you have a look on the IFSC Facebook page, we had a chat with Graham Alderson, who was involved in the very first international climbing competitions. He's been around a long time, knows his onions about climbing competitions, explaining how the format of finals has changed. We used to have 5 on, 5 off, like we have in the semi-finals, and we went to 4+, now we're on 4, and just explaining how each has their pros and cons. I know the 4+ rule has caused plenty of heated discussion, but as I say, go on the IFSC Facebook page, have a look at Graham's interview. Gives a good insight. So, Janae Kruder's out, Shauna Cox is out. She's used to climbing last in finals. Climbs 3rd today.
Oh, so Magdalena... I can't pronounce that last name. Can you try?
Tomkovic.
Okay, so can you stick a top or bonus with your feet? No, you can't. And you have... to stick the bonus, you can't just touch it. You have to show control, which generally means you have to show that you can use the bonus hold to adjust your body position. And then for the final hold, you have to show control with 2 hands on it for 3 seconds, I believe. Yeah.
We've already seen that this season.
Oh.
Jongwon Chon in Chongqing had a top, and it was touch and go because he literally grabbed the hold. And well, we had 2 incidents of Jongwon Chon in Chongqing, but in the semi-finals he grabbed a hold and pretty much pulled up and instantly let go of the hold, and it was counted as a legal top. But Alex Kazanov, who was with me, was arguing it could be not counted as a top. So you have to hold the top hold with both hands and show control.
Mm-hmm. There are quite a few of the male competitors who sort of toe that line. Oh, so close.
If you're wondering about the boulder I'm talking about from Chongqing, it was men's 4. I think it was semis. I'm pretty sure it was the semis. Yes, it was the semi-finals. Head to onbouldering.com. They have a good insight to it. But if you are interested in the technicalities of what constitutes a top, have a look at onbouldering.com. They've got a good article about it. So, Janae Kruder, big, powerful climber.
Ooh.
Struggling as yet with men's 1.
I think he knows he has to get lower, but struggling a little bit to do so. Uh-oh.
So Shauna Cox, as I mentioned, used to climbing at last in the final, out 3rd today, but she's the first climber who's really made a dent in women's 1. Now, this is really interesting because you and I were discussing this when we were down on the mats. Will they just use the bonus hold to stop the swing and then drop back down? Because that's so far what Shauna's trying to do. But it looks a long way from this pink hole to the top.
Oh.
It's really hard to tell when you're not...
She's got it, though.
Yeah, when you're not on the boulder, it's really hard to tell how far it is. It actually, now she's there, it looks closer than it looked from the mats.
Yeah, definitely. But that last screw-on doesn't look very good. Oh, but she's got it.
It's good enough.
Nice.
Top from Shauna Coxey.
And that was definitely 3 seconds that she held it for. Definitely showed control there.
Let's have another look at the jumps. It's right hand, left hand, right again. And then she dropped back. So she only really used the bonus to control the swing, which was a possible method we considered, and it's proved successful.
Oh, only 15 seconds left. Oh.
So no joy for Nate, makes his way off.
Always a very expressive climber.
Yeah, he's great. He's always keen to chat to us. Always says or does something interesting, such as wearing a homemade t-shirt turban, as he did today. Always keen to chat. So, Manuel Cornu and Miho Nanaka out. Manu, as you mentioned, he's lost the leopard haircut.
Come on, Miho. Oh, so close.
Yeah, good start from Miho. Certainly seems to be the right method.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the frustration. It looks like a promising method for a climber as tall as him. He's relatively tall, relatively reachy. That's a two-way shoulder press. Looked like it might work for him. Speaking of tall, reachy climbers, got a question from Ehot. Again, it's always the tricky ones. Wants to know who's the tallest climber in the IFSC.
Oh, I don't know. Jan Hoyer's got to be up there.
That's got us thinking. Let us know on Twitter, #IFSCWC. Who's the tallest climber? The tallest competitor? I think Jan Hoyer might be up there. Adam Ondra's pretty tall.
Yep, yeah, he is.
We shall have a think about that one. Thanks for the question. Good question. If anybody actually knows the answer, I'll be very, very impressed. That would be encyclopedic knowledge on another level. So let's have a look at Miho, women's one. So it's right hand, left hand, right hand.
Oh.
That's the right sequence. She doesn't seem to quite be finding the sweet spot.
I think maybe she needs to get a little bit higher in order to hold that swing, the shoulder swing. You can see Manu fighting men's one. Goes with the left foot. Yeah, this looks more promising this time. It's Oh.
yes, one of those moves. It's one thing to get there, it's another thing to then move again.
Yeah, maybe not quite as flexible as the other climbers, but he made it work.
Really thought he was off there. The shoulders moved back from the wall, center of gravity shifted,
Oh
but
no.
not enough to have him off. But then the move left didn't quite manage. Murasaki method. It's almost hard to tell why she's not sticking it. She seems to be hitting the good spot. She seems to be making the distance comfortably.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. You sense she was close.
Yeah, and dropping back down just like Shauna did.
So that is the way to do it. You just use that enormous volume, the bonus hold, to stop yourself, then come back.
Doesn't look like she's going to get her toe up on that. Oh, nice. Oh no, she didn't match the finish hold.
I think she's just been informed of that.
Oh no, and there's no time left.
Oh, poor Miho Nanaka, after so many attempts, she finally stuck that move.
Oh no.
But it's very clearly denoted after the issues last week with Jongwon Chon on men's four and Alexei Rubtsov. The route setters went to great pains to make sure they very clearly denoted which was the top hold. And you saw she put her hand. And the other thing was her head initially obscured her hands when she pulled up. So it wasn't clear when she was holding, but she wasn't holding the top hold with both hands. She doesn't look happy about this, but I think if that goes to an appeal, she's not going to succeed.
Yeah. Her hands are pretty clearly not touching. Yeah.
I don't think she's going to... Could she argue that the tape doesn't quite touch the bolt on?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I suspect Miho Nanaka has for a start not been awarded that top, and is not going to be awarded that top.
All right, and here we have Mei Kotake from Japan, the third and final Japanese woman out, along with Jongwon Chan, who's looked unstoppable this year. Yeah, he's just eyeing up that second hold. Oh, and he's tall enough to get that foot out first. Some of the other climbers weren't tall enough. So he's one that's pretty tall and flexible.
Great combination. Some people are easy to hate.
And super strong. I mean, he's got it all. All right. Oh. So Tomoa moved left and moved his foot off the start hold before going for this. And it looked like that was a better method because he didn't have as far to travel across to the bonus hold.
Jongwon Chan there.
Oh, Mei trying a interesting method. She is quite small.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Having to think outside the box.
She's got to make sure she establishes all 4 points before moving one of the points off. But it's going to make the work cut out for the judges, for sure.
Yeah, speaking of which, our technical delegate here, Graham Alderson, who I mentioned, is on Facebook discussing the 4+4 rule. Has just been over and told me that Miho was not awarded the top by the judge. Mm-hmm. She didn't look at the judge to confirm whether she'd been awarded it. Graham said he will have a look at the footage, but he suspects she won't be awarded the top, even if they appeal.
That's really unfortunate.
That is really unfortunate, especially given as the fact she didn't flash the boulder. She worked and worked and worked, eventually got it.
Yeah, and it looks from the scores like she got an 8th try. So.
Well, we're being told that the climbers were told specifically where that hold was and where the finish hold was.
Yes. Sometimes in the heat of the moment you just forget. Oh, it looks like Mei was getting pretty close there on that jump.
Yeah, it's certainly not a method. I don't think the route setters had envisaged it being done with a run, but
But
to
looks
be
like
working.
it's maybe, hopefully.
As you say, she needs to make sure she has a legal start.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch Jongwon Chan, and I'll ask you to explain. Alex Kazanov came out with a great description of Jongwon Chan last week. He said he's the best climber at basic climbing. You know, if it's not a parkour move, it's not some weird funky move. It's just straight up pulling on holds and contorting your body. He's the best.
Yeah. I think that combination of tall and flexible can really help him sometimes, and he's incredibly strong.
Not to mention, massively strong. Just talking about a legal start. Mm-hmm. Just explain what you mean there when you were saying that Mei Kotake needs to have a legal start.
A legal start means if you see there's 4 pieces of green tape at the beginning of each boulder, and you need 1 point of contact, and a point of contact is either a hand or a foot on each of those. So if you see on women's 1, there's 2 points of contact on that yellow ball, and then 1 point each on one of the volumes at the bottom. So she has to have all 4 points on at the same time before any single one of them leaves to start the boulder.
And that really is the key in that case, simultaneously. So at some point during the start of her attempt, she has to have her 4 points of contact in the right place simultaneously.
Yes.
Had that gone to appeal, I suspect the judges might have had their work cut out. Certainly for the judge down the front, that's a really hard decision to make live in real time. Anyway,
for sure.
Janja Garnbret spares them any further dilemmas at this stage by doing it semi-statically and doing it first time.
So easy.
It's really the only word you can use when you watch that. She makes it look easy.
Yeah.
Flexible enough to get the hip up, the heel hook, sorry.
There we go, matches properly.
And that's how you match the top hold. And that's how you start a Boulder World Cup final. 40 seconds on the clock, feet back on the mat on the way back into isolation. Let's have another look at this. She got this first time. So it goes right hand to steady, controls the swing,
Wow.
didn't even pause for breath.
Just another day at the office there.
Keita Watabe, meanwhile, on men's one, now has the undivided attention of the crowd for the remaining 2 minutes 45 of his attempts.
Like when Tomoa did it, he just sort of tipped over rather than jumping into it.
Yeah, it's a good description actually. It's more of a tip, isn't it? Left hand slaps down,
Yeah.
right hand comes over to join it. It's kind of like starting a cartwheel.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We had a question earlier on Twitter, who is the tallest climber in the IFSC World Cups? And none other than Mike Langley, commentator from Meiringen, fellow commentator, has actually sent me a message on Skype. He reckons Adam Ondra is 185 centimetres and Jan Hoyer is 187. That is according to Wikipedia.
If we can trust such internet sources. Oh. Looks like he wanted to reverse that start move that he did and then just slipped right off.
So he's suddenly feels the pressure a bit more, you would suspect. All alone on the mats, night time, the lights are on him, and the crowd behind him.
Yeah, hopefully the crowd's just gonna help him get up this boulder though. Hopefully he can channel it well.
But right now they're very silent, the crowd. Can't hear much at all. Nice confident start. Now he needs to do the start of the cartwheel.
There you go. He's halfway there now.
So he just needs to rock left, right.
Oh!
I really thought he was going to hold that. Problem is as well, because the start is so tenuous, you're burning up a lot of time. 40 seconds is not long on this boulder. You can see it again. He's looking at the higher hold, but he actually goes first to the lower one. There he looks at the lower one.
Oh, his body just came too far up from the wall.
Yeah, that right foot just swinging around and moving his center of gravity out. Let's have another look. 20 seconds to go. This time he holds it. Actually takes a look at the crowd as if to say that was good, wasn't it?
Or maybe the clock.
Yeah, maybe the clock.
Oh, come on, 9 seconds. Come
9
on,
seconds.
Come on,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm pretty sure he was awarded that, especially judging by his reaction. He must have got the thumbs up from the judge.
That was exciting.
Who says that 4 minutes takes the tension out?
It's
Anything
true.
but. With 20 seconds to go, that was a race. And look
Wow.
how close that was. I think the key that time was he got the left toe on just to dab and kill the worst of the swing. Just to let you know, our scores are not updating live. And they seem to be on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
so
so
we're keeping an eye on the scoreboard.
Tomoa's leading with 1 top in 3, 1 bonus 3. Keita is second, 1 top in 4. And looks like the rest of the climbers do not have a bonus in the men's side. And for the women...
In the women's result, yeah, we've actually
there
got
we go.
the women's on screen. There we go.
Perfect.
Yanni Garnbrett leading the way. 1 top, and that was a flash. Shauna Coxey also topped it, but took 5 attempts. And there we can see the men's results. So apologies, I'm not getting them here in the commentary box, but they appear to be updating where it matters on the live stream and also on the big screen. So, men's 2, women's 2. First chance to study these. Men's 2 is the some of the pink volumes, the right hand pink volume, slightly confusing because women's 4 immediately to the left of it also uses some pink volumes.
I saw the root setters putting on some black tape earlier in between them, but it doesn't look like it's there anymore.
No, I think it was used during observation. It was done at the very last second, but from what I could see, it was done during observation, just to really clearly denote the boulders to the climbers.
Okay.
So they knew which holds were part of which boulder.
Yeah, but if there's no black tape there when they're climbing, they can touch any holds.
Well, yeah, this is it, and that was what I thought when they took the tape down after observation. So
oh wow, flash attempt got to the last move there.
it's slightly confusing having the two boulders next to each other without black tape and both using pink volumes. Women's two, meanwhile, climbed a classic thrutch higher up. It's a jump initially and then a possibly slightly undignified thrutch.
Yeah, up the corner there with those two round volumes. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's just, I think it just comes down to whoever wants it the most.
Narasaki leads the way in top position and made a superb start to that by almost topping this men's two on his first attempt.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to slow down a bit by the end of the boulder to do that last move.
See him really shaking out. We mentioned earlier fatigue an issue here. Very physical selection of boulders in just about every round.
Oh, she's getting a lot closer in this jump than the last.
Samoa lines up for another go.
Nice.
No problem on these sorts of moves for Samoa. Such a dynamic climber. And looks promising. Here is his right foot. There is a small bolt on there. He's not just frictioning on that volume. There is a tiny bolt on. It is. When I say tiny, I mean tiny. It's just enough to allow you to rock over.
It looks like he wanted to go slow, but decided at the last second to not. There we go.
Jain Kim, she makes the jump work. She'll head out to the right. That flexibility that we know Jain Kim has really
There we go.
paying off there. And this looks
so easy for her. That's awesome.
very easy. Really contorted her body nicely. That was me saying it might be undignified.
Yeah, the root setters are saying that they were hoping it would be a face the crowd kind of finish, and looks like she's thinking that too.
She's read it perfectly and looks pretty comfortable on the right hand. It's just a question of how to get the left to join it. It is quite overhanging, that section of wall. It's quite hard to tell, especially when the climbers don't have a chalk bag on.
She doesn't have much time left.
It is quite overhanging, and Jain is going to have to make a decision one way or the other. Both hands on the top hold, but no top for Jain. She's got the bonus, no problem though.
Took her a couple of tries, but she got it.
No top either for Tomoe Narasaki. Did get the bonus though on his second attempt. Sorry, first attempt. First attempt on the bonus.
Yeah, right.
Again, that boulder with Jain Kim, a classic example. 4-minute rule is accused of taking excitement out. From what we've seen this evening, it's done quite the opposite. That's the race on men's one. Superb. Jain Kim just timed out. You got the impression she was quite comfortable standing there. It was just a case of figuring out how to get that, how to get both hands onto the top hold. She just ran out of time, ran out of thinking time more than climbing time.
I know the root setters changed that final hold to be a lot smaller in the last couple of minutes before observation presentation, so Yeah. We'll see if it pays off for them.
So it's all Japan again on the stage. Aya's back out in the women's competition, as is Rei Sugimoto in the men's. Can he get on as well instantly with men's 2 as Tomoe Nagasaki? We're certainly off to a good start.
That jump looks like no problem for the Japanese guys. Let's see if he can figure out this last move. Come on, Ray.
Come on, Ray.
Oh no! I thought he was gonna be able to reverse that for a second.
Yeah, me too. Well, he was pinching with the left hand
Yeah.
instead of palming and pushing. So I think if he gets back up there, maybe the palm and push, although it means your hand is slightly further away from where you need to be, might be slightly easier to gain some leverage off it. Few comments on Twitter. Jain Kim is basically doing yoga on that wall, says Bo Jeans. Bo Jean. It was amazing to watch, and as I say, people that are super critical on the 4-minute rule, I think moments like that might make you reconsider.
Yeah, to watch Keita run up that slab problem, that was pretty cool.
So Rei Sugimoto, this is what I was talking about. So he was pinching the volume where his right hand is now, but you can put your left hand down and palm off the volume.
Maybe it's just too bad. Oh no.
It seems like every time he moves up, those 2 pinches become so bad that he falls.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 1 minute 45 to figure it out. Plenty of time. He's been close twice now.
Aya just swinging off the jump there. Oh no. Replay of Ray slipping off that last move again. It looks like the last move is a fair bit harder for the climbers than the rest of that problem.
Yeah, well, it's only been 2 climbers out so far, Tomoe and Ray, but they've fired up that lower section, as you say.
Yeah. Just walked it. Yeah.
So down to a minute, you might have heard the beep. The 1 minute to go beep.
Yeah, nice. Aya finally sticking the jump.
This time she sticks it, so Jain Kim cruised through this section. I suspect it's not quite as easy as she made it look.
See if Aya is quite as flexible as her.
Oh, she certainly is.
Oh.
Steeper than it looks, this section, remember.
Yeah,
Look of concentration, and a bit like Jain Kim, 20 seconds to go.
Wonder if it'll be enough.
Yeah, as I say, as we mentioned, the route setters think you should face out. Can she do it facing in? I think she doesn't have time to correct. If she's going to do it, she's going to have to do it facing into the wall.
Oh no.
Again, both fingers
Just
on the
timing
finishing
out.
hold. Timed out. This Xixin Song, the Chinese speed climb, we saw him earlier today, out in the round of 8. So, Yanya Garmret still leading the way. The women's competition, 1 top, and that was a flash. Shauna Coxey following her, 1 top, 5 attempts. If you haven't watched bouldering before, we have a 4-tiered scoring system. The most important measurement is how many tops the climbers get, how many boulders they get to the top on. If they're still tied on number of tops, it comes down to how many attempts it took to get those tops. If they're still tied, the next tiebreak is how many bonus holds they got. Midway up each boulder is a bonus hold. You can see it above and left of Shauna Coxey's head there. the tape and the gold circle saying bonus. So it comes down to how many bonus holes I get. If they're still tied after tops, number of attempts and bonus holes, it comes down to how many attempts it took to get the bonus. So Shauna Coxey, Yene Kruder out on the mats. Yene, as we've seen with Rain Tomoa, relatively easy work of the lower moves. And Shauna Coxey, you can see her on the right of your screen there, also got that first move dialed. Yene pinching the right hand side of that volume, also choosing to pinch and using the left elbow, getting a bit more purchase from that elbow than it might originally look, and it pays off. And that's what he thinks about it. Fantastic from Yene Kruder. Top from him. Shauna Coxey, meanwhile, will concentrate on her. These moves through the two green blobs, and now she'll see the top hole. It's just half a meter behind the back of her head, but she's wily enough and experienced enough not to just make a lunge for it. It's barely a hole at all. It's more an arbitrary point where the boulder finishes. Shauna just figuring it out here.
Yeah, she has plenty of time, so I hope she can do it.
She eyes it up. She's got the technique right.
Come on, Shauna.
You can see a great angle that.
That's awesome. Oh, getting right under it now.
This is a great finish from the root setters.
Yeah! Nice. That looked hard.
Shauna enjoyed that.
And she made sure to double check with that judge before jumping down.
That's one thing about Shauna. She's really on it when it comes to making sure the judges are happy.
Yeah.
She's not a climber you'd expect to make a mistake regarding legal tops. She always checks with the judges, always very thorough, and you saw her actually look the judge in the eye there just to make sure. There's Yene Kruder.
So psyched.
So that was just to confirm, a flash from Shauna and a flash from Yene. It took them both quite a long time to climb the boulders.
Yene was pretty quick.
Yeah, he was under a minute. Shauna more like 2.
Yeah. That's because that top is so tenuous.
Really good to watch from Shauna though, just figuring out how to move the body.
See the gears turning in her head there.
You could see the cogs whirring. So Miho Nanaka pulls on attempt number 1, women's 2, ditto Manuel Cornu.
Yeah, oh no.
So Miho won't match Shauna's achievement of a flash.
See if Manu can.
So those initial moves on the men's boulder, although very physical, they seem to not be causing too many problems so far. It's still physical here though. Manu really fighting. One thing we know, he won't give up.
Come on, Manu. Oh!
The video,
oh no!
The video of him in the World Championships, his top, that was just the most epic battle with a boulder. Apparently it's hit 500,000 views on Facebook.
Wow, was that the one where he does that crazy dyno across those volumes?
He was spanning a gap. Yeah. Check it out. Add your name to the 500,000 people that have viewed that.
Yeah, he's an awesome climber to watch. So exciting all the time. He's trying so hard. He's always giving it 110%.
Miho pulls back on.
Oh.
Denied a top because of an illegal finish.
Oh.
Or a non-legal finish, I should say. On women's 1. Very hard to put that to the back of your mind and concentrate. She didn't have enough time for another go.
Yeah.
You're just joining us here. We're live in Nanjing. And you can get in touch. Hashtag IFSCWC on Twitter. Myself and Alana Yip. If you've got any questions, fire away. A finalist last week, Alana.
Oh no, Manu.
Yeah, last week a finalist in Chongqing, Alana, the first, I'm going to embarrass you here, the first Canadian female to make a final in an IFSC World Cup.
Yeah, it was exciting. Hopefully exciting for other people in my country too.
It was great to watch. I think you were the happiest person in Chongqing that day. So let's have a look at Miha. She had a quick look at the top hold. I wondered if she's just going to go for it, but as I say, it's
that wouldn't be smart, I don't think.
No, it's only a hold in name. It's more a finish point. You can't really pull on it.
Yeah, we call them no shadows in Canada for a good reason, because they're so small. They make no shadow.
That's a phrase I'm going to use again. It's a no shadow.
Yep.
So Miho doesn't look as comfortable here as Shauna. Shauna seems to be able to move almost at will.
Yeah, Shauna was facing the crowd at this point.
Yeah.
Miho's doesn't seem to have figured that one out yet.
Kind of felt like Shauna could move as much as she wanted, and she was going to stay there until she figured it out. Miho doesn't look as comfortable. She's beginning to settle in a bit. She seems to have kind of found the sweet spot, the balance point. But she doesn't. Has she sussed out that she needs to swap feet? I think she might have done. No. No.
No, and she doesn't need to. Awesome.
Doesn't need to. And again, checks with the judges. She only checked actually after she'd already committed to coming down.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just so you have that routine of quickly matching a finish hold and then jumping down that it's hard to change that boulder to boulder.
So no top for Manuel Cornu, and Miho Nanaka, as if she wasn't kicking herself enough already, really kicking herself because she could have two tops. Massively frustrating. As I've mentioned, it must be so hard to snap out of it mentally.
Yeah, but she seems to have done it pretty well because by sending this boulder, so that's good.
So we're already on to our fifth climbers on Boulders 2. This Boulder 2 seems to have gone by quickly. It's Jongwon Chon and Mei Kotake. Mei, one of the smaller climbers. You wouldn't thought it would affect her too much. She might on the jump early on, but probably not on the up section.
Yeah.
Might, if anything, be a slight advantage to have smaller limbs.
Yeah, you never know.
Less leverage as she tries to move between those volumes.
This is interesting.
This is interesting.
Double toe hook bat hang. I wonder if this hold that her right hand is on is good enough to do this.
It certainly doesn't look it.
No.
I'd give her a top for style points if she just lets go with her hands now and just hangs there. That's probably why I'm not a judge.
Oh, no.
Really interesting how she's
thinking outside the box on every boulder.
Yeah, we saw her running on
Come on,
Women's
Jongwon.
1.
Oh.
Not for Jongwon. He might top this boulder. I suspect he will, judging by that, but he won't flash it. Yeah, really interesting to see the cogs whirring. Let's have another look. Jongwon lining it up, goes with the right hand.
Oh,
just short.
Not quite enough reach there.
It's not the most positive lip at the back of that bolt-on hole, but it's enough, I think. For a guy like Jongwon, if he latches that, it's enough to keep him there.
Yeah, I think so.
John, we're just having another look. Perfect angle there. When we turned up with our cameras on Wednesday, I think it was.
Yeah, nice, Mei.
I'll resume in a second.
And she does it the way the route setters intended, I think, the jump there.
So it's not a huge jump, actually, is it?
No, because your hand, you already have one hand almost there. It's just a little bit awkward, I think, from that position.
One of those moves you find in climbing where once you do it, you kick yourself you didn't do it first time.
Oh, no.
And that is a surprise because from there, Jain Kim, although she didn't get the top, she did move relatively easily from that position. I was about to say, when we arrived with our cameras on Wednesday and we were asking where our wall-mounted camera can go, the route setters suggested in between these boulders, because we get such good views of both tops, and it's proven that way so far. Really good close-up of men's 4 finish, and great when we could see Shauna Cox. You could look straight into her eyes, so you can see our wall-mounted camera there above and right of the final men's hold. Big up to the route setters for telling us to put it there.
Oh.
And there it is in action.
Come on, Jongwon, come on. Oh no.
Again, he's close. He just can't quite figure out how to launch.
May's up there again. I think last time she just tumbled out of that position there, so let's see if she can make it up there this time.
Might sound ridiculous with 40 seconds to go, but time is an issue here. This is a time-consuming section of Boulder, and it was thought that you had to face the crowd. It's since been disproved by Miho Nanaka, but it was thought you had to face the crowd to top this boulder. You don't, but it certainly looks easier if you face the crowd. May looking to copy her compatriot Miho.
Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Oh, and our clock has
reset. Yeah, we'll let you know. It appears all the clocks in the venue have reset. It looked to me there was 12 seconds left on the clock, and simultaneously the clocks reset to 4 minutes. We'll let you know if she was awarded that top. Slightly frustrating time for a technical failure of the clock. 12 seconds to go, heading for a top. But
definitely.
We'll let you know
as soon as we hear.
Good question here on Twitter, Dave Taylor. And thank you, Dave. Someone with a Twitter handle I can just pronounce first time. Dave Taylor is testing our knowledge. Trivia question. How many World Cup gold medalists have also won gold in another climbing discipline?
Oh, that's a good question. I know that Sean McCall has, being Canadian, but I don't really know.
Go team! We've got okay. Let's do this. Adam Ondra, Sean McCall, Jakob Schubert, Jorg Verhoeven. I am pretty happy with that. 4. Let's keep thinking.
Any women? I don't think so.
Dave, great question, but man, give me a break. You know, this is the third live stream of the day for me. We were we had the semi-finals this morning. We had the speed finals this afternoon. My brain can only do so much. We'll keep thinking. That's 4 names so far for you.
Okay, so I just heard what happened with May there. The clock was reset too early, so it's a technical incident, and she'll get another 2 minutes to climb. Not sure when, but she will get to climb again.
Okay, I think that will be after this rotation, so I think we'll see Janja Garnbret come out and Keita Watabe in the men's competition, and then she'll get her 2 minutes. Would be my assumption.
Yeah.
So the real question, apparently from Dave, is: has anyone medalled in all 3 disciplines?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure about that one.
Yeah.
There's one for the trivia kings out there. The trivia kings this evening being kept very busy. And there's our 2 climbers still to come. Janja Garnbret continuing her extraordinary record. Never missed a final in a senior IFSC World Cup.
She's incredible.
Not just incredible, also consistent. It's that which we've just got a brief pause here. There's that technical incident, I suspect, with May Kotake is investigated, but it was that consistency in the lead competitions last year which was almost daunting for the competition.
Yeah.
She just never seems to have an off day, never seems to have a foot that slips off and she doesn't recover.
I think there were a few lead competitions in which she and her compatriot Mina Markovic seemed to have beta issues. They sort of read the beta on the final route a little bit wrong, but other than that, I think that's the only weakness I've ever seen from her.
Yeah, it was, even when she seemed to get the beater wrong, she's just got the strength and the technique to recover it.
Yes.
She was pretty extraordinary last year in the lead World Cup, so I dread to think what she's going to be like with another year of experience and training behind her. She's certainly no slouch in the Boulder World Cups either, won one of them already this year.
Oh yeah. Just so casual for something that's, we don't consider her #1 discipline.
Yeah, when you're winning World Cups in your #2 discipline, you know you're quite the talent.
Yep, for sure.
Just to clarify, Dave Taylor's question was, has anyone won, or how many climbers have won gold medals in 2 disciplines? And it was the increasingly famous social media Joe who wanted to know if anyone had medalled in all 3 disciplines. Let's have another look at Shauna Coxey's top. Great to watch this. As Alana said, you could see the cogs turning. And once she got here, I mentioned it earlier, she looked like she could move almost at will.
Mm-hmm.
Very composed, has time to chalk up.
It's interesting how close that finish hold is, yet how hard it is to get there.
Drives you mad. I think most climbers can identify with that feeling. Especially trad climbing, where you can see where you want to be, but can't get there. How many times I've seen the top of a quarry in the north of England and you can see it.
Yet it's still so far away.
But can you grab it? No, you can't.
See, it's interesting how Shauna didn't even try to reach for the finish hold when she was facing in. She knew. She seemed to know immediately as she wanted to face out to get that top.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, actually. You get the impression she either figured it out as soon as she got there, or she figured it out before she even started.
Yeah.
Not sure why we were seeing she's in there, but at least we saw the top of Shauna Coxey. As I say, our pictures. Normally we get, or she might be given a rest period, but technical incident. You can't help wondering, because we're looking at the screen and then looking at social media and then our start list, you sometimes wonder if your eyes are deceiving you.
Yeah.
But the clock did reset itself.
Yeah.
So she'll have 2 more minutes. Hopefully we'll get a clock showing her 2 minutes. There we have it.
Yes.
And this time,
that jump again.
yeah, she gets to jump immediately.
So because of the technical incident, if I'm not wrong, her attempt where she finished the problem should not count as an attempt.
So she uses the knee this time.
Oh, trying to. Oh, no. Oh.
I think everybody here was willing her on. Really harsh when you have it's a technical incident in both senses of the word. It's a technical incident in terms of IFSC rules and also a technical incident electronically.
Yeah.
Really harsh to have to come back out, having no doubt had a bit of a discussion with the judges.
Mm-hmm. I think that her coaches probably told her to not worry about it, and they deal with it and get her the time back. The Japanese team has really good support like that. Yeah, come on, May.
So she's back up to her high point from the previous attempt. 34 seconds on the clock. We mentioned it when she was here last time.
Yeah.
Time an issue. Uses
There we go.
the knee.
But she knows how to finish it now because she's already done it. She
goes facing in again.
Yeah, because that's how she did it last time. She knows it's possible. Come on.
And 12 seconds to go. This is where she was last time.
Come on, May.
She's not going to have time to turn around. She's going to have to try it facing in. Can she do it?
Oh, no.
No, she can't.
even though she had two hands on it, she didn't control it for long enough, so that doesn't count as a top. So sad.
May Kotake, I feel a bit disheartened myself. That was a bit of a cruel one for May.
This final round hasn't been nice to the female Japanese climbers, eh?
No, it's not at all. Judges being kept extremely busy here.
Yeah.
So our final climbers out onto men's 2 and women's 2. Just to remind you, Keita Watabe, Janja Garnbret. Janja had a very long break. This boulder very time consuming for the previous 5 climbers, plus the technical incident for May. So Janja, I don't know exact time. I'm guessing about half an hour since we last saw her. Not far off.
Probably, yeah.
Here she is.
Let's see if she can follow up that flash on women's 1 with another one here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, flash really would be a statement of intent.
For sure, yeah. I'm sure this jump will be no problem for her. Oh! Whoops. I mean...
Can we just rewind the last 10 seconds, please?
Maybe I should stop making predictions.
It's fine, it happens like clockwork to me. Don't feel bad.
Keita making that first move look like a piece of cake. Oh.
And making the iron cross move. Not too bad either.
Come on. Stick that tiny little screw-on hold there. Proving that it's not as easy as some of the other climbers made it look.
Certainly isn't. It looks a bit fed up then, Keita. So Janja lining up the jump again.
Easy.
Six, this time might be slightly frustrated she missed it the first time.
That was my fault, I think.
And you can see there that's it's raw climbing ability, the way she just moved her torso up there.
Yeah.
All 4 limbs work in unison.
Oh, she doesn't look too happy with that position. Yeah.
And he just
does need her foot up there, though. Oh, there we go.
She goes facing in.
Nice. Easy.
And despite her relative inexperience, she knows enough to check with the judges before she jumps down. So top for her.
Come on, Keita. Oh, catching the toe hook there. And that makes getting the toe on the screw-on hold there a lot easier. See if he can get this last move. He's moving around on that final pinch volume. And yes, secures it. Nice. Awesome. He's pretty psyched about that. Oh, you can see him trying so hard here.
There it is. He finds the sweet spot on the back of that bolt-on.
Hits it perfectly.
I had a good question on Twitter, Stefan Kohler. Do climbers have to secure the top, the extra 3 seconds, within the 4-minute time limit, or is it sufficient to match it within the 4 minutes? I'll ask you in just a second. We'll just recap the scores.
Okay.
Janja Garnbret leads the way. I was interested how many attempts that was. She leads the way by 1 attempt ahead of Shauna Coxey. They've both got 2 tops, but Janja took 5 attempts to get them. Shauna took 6. In the unlikely event of a tie across all 4 scores, tops, attempts, boulders, bonuses and attempts, it would come down to count back to semi-final. We don't want it to. We want a clear winner. So Yana leads the way ahead of Shauna.
Yanya took 4 attempts on that boulder?
It seems to be what the scores are saying. We'll check for you. It didn't look like that many to me. It looked like...
I thought she did it second try.
Me too. She maybe had a couple of attempts when we look at
Maybe, yeah.
Kato. We'll find out. Kato Watabe, meanwhile, speaking of which, does lead the way. 2 tops, the only climber with 2 tops in the men's competition.
Following behind is Yerne with 1 flash. That was nice climbing from him. Yeah, so the top has to be secured within the 4-minute time limit. But if you are very secure on it as the time expires, you'd be pretty hard pressed to find a judge who would not give you that top. So that 3 seconds, as you can see from the tops that some of the climbers have given tonight, is not fixed in stone. But yes, technically you should secure the finish hold, the extra 3 seconds within the time, within the 4 minutes.
But the way the rules read is the climbing period during the final round should be 4 minutes for each competitor. Athletes will be stopped if they are still climbing at the end of the 4 minutes. That's straight from the rule book.
So if they've got 2 hands on the finish hold at the end of the 4 minutes, that's, if they're secure, that's going to count as a top. So it's kind of confusing, a little bit maybe poorly worded for that, 1 in a million situation, but there you have it.
Speaking of tops, we could be about to see Tomoa Narasaki, overall Boulder World Cup winner 2016, world champion 2016, latch another top, and that's how in control he is. Left hand goes.
Come on.
Doesn't like it, so he comes back and has another go.
Nice. So easy.
Samoa, as always, quick wave to the crowd. Disappears back in. So Jain Kim, women's 3, the closest the women have got to a slab, but it's vaguely overhanging, but it climbs like a slab, was how the route setters described it. I know that sounds a bit strange.
It's a bit balancy, I think. Yeah, you have to hit that bonus hold pretty precisely. As you can see, there's 2 holds there, so one of them is the hold. The pink one is the one you want to grab, and the yellow one is blocking part of the hold, so you can't grab the whole thing. It makes it worse. And from the way that Jain is climbing it, it looks to me maybe you hit the bonus hold and then throw a toe hook back on one of those start holds. Maybe that'll be how they secure that bonus hold.
It certainly requires a lot of accuracy. You've got to hit that bonus hold absolutely on the sweet spot.
But you could see there her toe was almost on that left-hand start hold. But yeah, you have to be precise with your hand and your foot basically at the same time. It's a tricky one.
Very tricky start, women's 3. As described earlier, it initially looks simple. It really isn't.
Oh, she got one part of it down.
She looks like she's having a lot of fun, Jain Kim.
Yeah.
She's always friendly and keen to chat, Jain Kim. I've got the impression she's enjoyed being in a slightly different environment. Still an IFSC World Cup, but just being in the bouldering's perhaps a bit less expectation on her.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's done so well at lead recently. Not just recently, for a while. She's sort of expected that she'll go into a lead World Cup and make finals and sort of show up. But bouldering, it's been almost a bit of a surprise. Like, wow. Especially today, making finals, that was a bit of a surprise for me. Giving it a lot of goes here. I think this is one that just takes a lot of tries to get that precision down.
9 seconds to go for Jain Kim.
Maybe enough to stick the bonus, but probably not enough to finish the problem. There we have it. She's off.
Don't forget, you can get in touch, hashtag IFSCWC on Twitter. We've got a lot of questions. Apologies, we've had so much going on with, for a start, the amazing action, technical incidents, clock failures.
It's been an exciting evening.
It's been a very exciting evening, very eventful.
Yeah.
But Cameron Thompson, again, Cameron, thank you. You have a very easy name for an English speaker to pronounce. As we see, Tomoa had a go at the top, but had enough strength to hold on because he didn't like it. Had another go. There we go. Cameron Thompson, what do you think has happened to Rustam? Another climber always happy to chat, tell you how he's feeling, and he said he feels strong. He feels good. Just hasn't got on with the boulders.
Yeah, I think this year the level of the guys' competition has been so high that we've seen a lot of strong climbers consistently missing semifinals, such as Rustam, and Sean missed for the first two competitions. Dmitry Sharafutinov has missed semifinals. Jakob Schubert. Yeah, it's been a hard year.
I think that's it. I don't think there's any.
Ray doing this statically. Did Tomoa do it statically as well?
I don't think we were watching him at the time.
No,
we
I
can
think
check
we were
a replay.
watching Jain.
Let's have another look.
That's
again,
definitely not what the route setters wanted.
poor route setters. Try and create a certain move. Climbers come out and do something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Works a treat though.
Yeah. Looks a lot more in control than a big dyno might be.
He looks firmly in control.
Yeah.
So Tomoa was holding the bonus hold up on the right. You can still see the chalk mark from his palm. Ray doesn't seem to want that.
Oh no.
It goes to the left hand again, but no joy. Yeah, just quickly going back to Rustam. I know he's not in this evening's final, but it's a good question. I just think the men's competition is so incredibly strong.
Mm-hmm.
And as I say, Rustam, he says he's not injured, he's trained well, he feels strong, everything else. Not got on with the boulders as well as others have.
Yeah, sometimes you just have that, a competition or two or, three where the boulders just don't fit you well enough to climb them.
One thing to be sure of, he is of such a caliber that we will be seeing him in World Cup semi-finals and finals again.
Oh yeah, there we go with the
year,
toe
I'm sure.
catch.
Yeah, a bit like the
Very nice from Aya.
the Petra Klingler move in the World Championship
yeah.
final.
Without the super excited face though. That's such a classic. It's awesome. Oh, that next hold is there's only one part of it that's good, that sort of crimp in the middle, and the outside of it is very slippery. They had them at the last World Cup last week.
So Ray, again, trying the static method.
It's working well for him.
Come on, Ray. This boulder's been topped by his compatriot Tomoa Narasaki, who currently leads this final. 2 tops in 5 attempts for him.
No top there for Ray. So far, Ray doesn't have any tops, just 2 bonus holds in 3 attempts.
.40 seconds to go. Good question, actually, while we've got 2 Japanese athletes on the stage. G. Sims. Another Twitter handle I struggle with. Would like to know if we have any insight as to why Japan is so dominant recently. They're making up half of this men's final, half the women's final.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think that when you have 1 or 2 or 3 strong climbers training in the same area, it breeds a lot more stronger climbers because, they're always pushing the other climbers that are around. Oh, and just after the buzzer there.
We were just having this discussion. That is a harsh one.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Ray. But yeah, so I think that having some really strong climbers in an area training will push all the other climbers around them to become better because they want to compete, they want to keep up. So I think that maybe that's what's happened with Japan, is that they have some strong leaders, and then everybody else in the country has sort of, adjusted and tried to keep up, and that's what's created this really strong environment for them.
We also had a good question about what's the perfect body shape and weight for climbing. It's an interesting question because in this final in both men's and women's competitions, all sorts of shapes and sizes. I guess there's different body shapes for different boulders.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's one perfect body shape or size for climbing.
I agree. I mean, you have guys like Jain Kim, Jan Hoyer, big in every sense.
Oh.
That's how the route setters envisaged it.
Mm-hmm.
Big in every sense, tall, heavy.
Yeah.
And then you've got guys like Rustam Gomanov.
Yeah, very small.
Very small,
slight.
slim.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is an ideal size. I think it depends on the boulder, depends on the route.
I think it's more to do with, do you know how to read boulders and climb them according to your body size and shape?
So more than whether there is a perfect body shape, it's do you maximize whatever that body shape is?
Exactly, yeah. Ooh, nice.
Jain certainly maximized his reach and his power there.
That was so exciting.
That's how the route setters, if you like, wanted it to be done. As ever, the climbers causing them all sorts of problems and doing it different ways. He'll be frustrated because he's had a great start to this final.
Yeah, flashing boulder number 2. Not getting on so well with boulder number 1, though.
Shauna Coxey can put real pressure on Janja Garnbret here. As things stand, they're both on 2 tops. Janja leading by virtue of having taken fewer attempts.
Just one fewer attempt, though.
Yeah, just one fewer attempt.
It's really close.
It's very, very close, but if Shauna can top this, she'll take the lead with 3 tops.
Mm-hmm.
Crank the pressure up on Janja.
And then Janja's got to do this one. Yeah.
She's got to do it to retake the lead.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have a look. Shauna.
Come on, Shauna.
Well, we'll look at Jain for now. He's got.
Ooh.
That's a fantastic move.
That's so awesome.
It's both arms moving twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. So Jain needs to set himself slightly better. He never quite got in position to make an attempt for the top hold. He has now.
Yeah. Awesome.
Left hand.
Yeah, come on. Oh, and Shauna's already
right
up there too.
hand. Simultaneously.
Nice.
Shauna tops.
He's pretty happy about that one.
He'll never make a poker player, Jain Kruder. Poker face, not an option. Happy, nice high five. It's nice as well when they walked out. I don't know if you noticed, they were chatting as they walked out in the boulders.
It's a pretty friendly environment in finals. I was really happy to find that last week.
Let's have another look at Shauna's top. We barely got to see it. We were focusing on Jain. We could just see it in the back of the shot. Yeah, once she got to the bonus hold.
Nice. Just walk the rest of it.
Yeah, and once again, cleverly checks with the judge, no doubt about it. It was almost simultaneous tops. Jain was just about first. Bang with the left hand. Hit the sweet spot and just shuffled the hand over to make room for the right. And there it is.
You can see him yelling. He's so excited. Alright, now we have Miho Nanaka and Manuel Cornu. Manuel so far only having 1 bonus hold, and Miho has 1 top. Both of them on problem number 2 for both climbers, that is. Oh, and Manuel doing it pretty statically as well.
Apologies if we're not bringing the score as often as we can. We're trying our very best. It seems that some areas are getting updated scores, including the big screen here. But we don't seem to be in the commentary box. I do apologise. We're bringing them as much as you can, and we're also trying to look around all our equipment and various people standing around so that we can see the big screen.
You can read them out if you want.
Go for it.
Okay, so for the women, Shauna Coxey leads with 3 tops, 10 attempts, 3 bonus 10, Janja Garnbrett in second with 2 tops 5 attempts, 2 bonus 5 attempts. Miho Nanaka in third with 1 top and 4 attempts.
Make that 2 tops.
Oh, 2 tops. There we go. Oh, made pretty quick work of that too.
Yeah, Manuel Cornu, just while you were reading them out, had a pretty good attempt at men's 3. Not a successful attempt.
And Aya Ono in 4th place with 0 tops, 2 bonus and 7 attempts. Mei Kotake in 5th with 0 tops, 1 bonus and 3 attempts. And Kim Jain in 6th with 0 tops and 1 bonus and 6 attempts. And we'll just wait until the switches to the guys' results so we can read those out too.
Keep an eye top of your screen. Here we go. These are updated scores. So Shauna Cocktail leads away. Yeah, with comic timing.
So I don't have to read them out anymore. Oh, trying the slightly more dynamic method, but not really liking it.
Keep an eye on the screen there. We see a cluster, the 5 Japanese climbers all together in the middle of the pack. Jongwon Chon down in 5th, and Manuel Cornu, we're watching him now. No tops just yet, but he did flash a bonus. When we use the word flash, by the way, we mean got it first time. Climber parlance.
Yeah, if you have any more questions about the lingo that we're using, just send us a message on Twitter.
Alana Yip alongside me. World Cup finalist. Come on, you've got to keep saying it. You can dine out on that for a long time yet. We hope to see you in another one.
Yeah, I'd like to be in another one. Oh.
Manu, just interesting. I know not everyone's got the top from there, but most of the climbers look like they've been halfway comfortable once they've got there. But on the bonus hole, he's can't seem to figure out how he wants to hold it.
No, he doesn't really like it. It's pretty slopey, and it's on an overhanging wall too, so... Oh, really not liking that jump, the jump version there. Just surprising. If you've seen, he has another video from the Paris World Championships where he does a really epic triple or quadruple dyno. It's just kind of a weird one where you have to transfer your momentum. First you're going up and sideways, sort of diagonally up, and then you have to kind of switch and go directly sideways. So there'll be no top for him on that one.
No, not for Manu. Jongwon Chon will be out next in the men's competition, and Mei Kotake will be out in the women's. There they are. Mei powering across the stage.
She's really excited to get to this boulder.
And the time begins already.
Let's see if she can top this boulder after that really unfortunate technical incident on the last boulder that ended up with her not getting the top.
Yeah, she'd have every right to feel slightly hard done by.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the rules, I guess, as bouldering.
It's nobody's
sucks.
fault. It's just really unfortunate. And a good first attempt on the women's street.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just popping off there.
Jongwon, I'm not sure he quite read that was dynamic. It looked as if he was trying to stop the swing rather than carry it on.
Yeah, it's almost like he changed his mind partway through the jump, and then that's kind of why he popped off.
Just while both climbers are on the mats, we've got more good questions. Hashtag IFSCWC. Have you got any questions for yourself or Alana Yip? Let's just watch Jongwon again.
Oh.
No. Yeah, it does almost look as if he's changed his mind. I think he just mimed the correct sequence there, so maybe that's...
No, it looks like he mimed the sequence to get both hands on that first pink volume and then go directly left hand to the bonus hold. That big gray volume.
We shall see.
Let's just be interesting because nobody's done it that way yet. That could be a possible third sequence to this boulder. Oh.
Yeah, good question on Twitter from Rienichi. Question for Alana. What extra or special training is needed for bouldering championships and the Olympics? How has your training changed for the Olympics, or has your training changed for the Olympics?
Well, yeah, I was never training speed climbing really before there was a possibility of going to the Olympics. So definitely for the Olympics, you have to obviously train for all three disciplines, so lead, bouldering, and speed. So they're very different. You know, speed climbing is just a lot of fast twitch muscles and memorizing that sequence and being able to repeat it precisely every single time. Bouldering is a lot of on the wall, on your feet problem solving, and being good at a lot of different styles of climbing. And lead climbing has a lot to do with that, but also you need the endurance. So you have to train a lot of different things, and sometimes there'll be compromises you have to make because you can't, focus all your training on just one style.
Rionichi also asks, when the finals are done, can people try the boulders? Yes, they can. You can get on the mats, generally at most World Cups, and have a go at the boulders. If I can get it off the floor on 2, that's a good day for me. Jongwon Chon, he's so close on that move. He's trying out a new method. Now he's reading it, yeah. Another question on Twitter. Maniac wants to know, why do some athletes put towels on the mat when starting a boulder?
Because the mat covers are vinyl, so all the chalk just sits on top of them. So when you walk out to your boulder, your shoes get really dirty. Even though you're not walking very far, there's a ton of chalk and dirt on the mats just from all the climbers beforehand in the last couple of rounds, and all the route setting that goes on beforehand. Yeah, so they're just cleaning their shoes to make sure that they don't slip off because they're dirty. So, yeah.
There we have it. One man who suddenly looks very secure. Jongwon Chon, he'll go with the left hand.
Oh no!
And the right heel, I think it was, that gave way. We may get a replay of that. Looked to me as if the right heel went. So he ended up...
I don't know how he's holding that hold.
It's awful volume to try and hold. So he did it statically initially and then dynamically.
Which is interesting because I think it was Ray did the whole thing statically.
So that was a very, very brief replay of Jongwon Chon. And this is live again. So Janja Garnbret under some real pressure here because Shauna Cox is now on 3 tops. Let's just have another look at this. Is a replay of Jongwon Chon.
Oh.
I think it might have been the right foot that moved first.
Or the right hand, maybe. Yeah. So Janja has 5 attempts to top this problem if she wants to beat Shauna, or take the lead back from Shauna.
Quick one more reference to Twitter. Bojin wants to know what the definition of beta is. It's the method of doing a route.
The sequence, I guess you could say. The order in which the climbers will grab the holds and move their feet and move their body position.
If you've ever been climbing in North America, it's a vital word. Hey, dude, you got any beta?
We say beta.
Beta. I can't go that American.
You say beta.
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 That sounds so funny.
Clash of cultures.
That's the same word, just a different pronunciation.
You're absolutely right. Not been climbing in the States since last year. Beta. You got any beta? So let's have a look at Keita Watabe. A much more slow and steady approach, but looked pretty much in control throughout.
Yep.
I can tell you Janja Garnbret's back on the mats because we're following Keita. I can't tell you exactly how many attempts she's had.
I think 2 or 3, maybe.
I think it's 2.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Could be 3, but we'll let you know as the scores update. But she is under real pressure.
And that's a top.
Is a top for Keita.
So that'll push Keita to the lead? No. Are those scores updated? He just has 2. No, he has 3 tops.
We'll let
He does have 3 tops.
We'll we are
There we
checking the
go.
results as times.
Yeah, he's
As we
now
speak.
got 3 tops in 8, 3 bonus 7. To Tomoa Narasaki in second place with 2 tops 5, 3 bonus 6. So Keita's got a pretty definite lead there. Oh, and Yanya just peeling off that bonus hold. Not seeing the toe catch that Aya found.
Keep an eye top of your screen for the results. See there, Shauna Cox is leading the way. 3 tops. Yanya under pressure. Needs this. And she's burning through the attempts as well. 1 minute 10 left on the clock. One minute left for Yanya now. There's the beep. If she can't top this boulder, she will stay in second place, and the 4th boulder will leave things in Shauna Cox's hands. I suspect she's already burned so many attempts, Yanya, that she'll be in second place even if she does top it. She's gone through a lot of attempts.
Yeah, she'll be hard pressed to catch it that way, I think. But Yanya always surprises me, so.
Let's have another look. She'll go up with the left hand, try and catch it with the right toe or not.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to either hasn't read the catch with the toe, or is choosing not to use it.
Oh.
Now she's doing that same method and it looks promising, but she's not getting it done.
Deciding to not try it again, so.
Well, it's a costly boulder that for Yanya Gambara. Not only did Shauna Coxey top it and she didn't, but also she burned a load of attempts.
Yeah.
We'll confirm exactly how many it was.
But she never hit the bonus hold, so it doesn't actually matter. Or she
True.
never caught the bonus hold in control.
Should she not catch it earlier? No?
Not in control, no.
No, okay.
She touched it almost every single time, but she didn't.
Yeah, there we see it. No, you're absolutely right. That's, yes, 2 tops, 5 attempts. Leading the way, Shauna Coxey topped all 3 boulders, but it's required 10 attempts to do so. Over in the men's, Keita Watabe, a clear lead. The top here will win the competition for him. Tomoa Narasaki and Yerne Kruder just behind in 2.
It looks like Yerne, Tomoa, and Keita will all be on the podium. There's no way, because there's only 1 boulder left, there's no way for the other guys to catch up and overtake one of them.
So just to confirm that the podium is now set in both men's and women's competitions?
Not the order of the podium necessarily, but the 3 people who will be on the podium.
Exactly, we know who will be there, we just don't know in what order.
Yeah.
Task is simple. Simple, not easy for Keita and Shauna. They just have to top to win.
Yeah.
Just. But after 2 days of competition,
You can
extremely
see there
physical
the-
boulders.
Yeah. Oh. Climbing on these little screw-ons on these volumes.
So Tomoa and Yerne can win this competition if they top within 3 attempts and Keita doesn't top the boulder.
Right.
So there
So
we go.
it's down to Keita and Shauna to be able to top these problems.
The maths is academic if they manage that. So Tomoa's done his bit.
Nice. So easy.
It was so easy to be kicking himself for his not topping all 4, but he'll take a very provisional lead.
Yeah. Whew. Those crimps look small. Not very good.
They look terrible. They look diabolical. So we've just seen the scores update. Tomoa now leads the way. 3 tops in 6 attempts. Keita Watabe 3 tops in 8 attempts. And Yerne Kruder 2 tops in 5 attempts.
Looking like a pretty precise jump to a pocket there for Kim Jain.
We'll focus on Jain for now.
Oh,
So
getting it pretty statically, more or less. Yes, and this is the 360, possibly face the crowd, turn around on pockets. It's going to be interesting.
immensely complicated
Yes.
boulders. Not that many holds, but there's so many ways of doing it.
And so many movements that you have to do, even though there aren't that many holds. Okay, so she's secured that next pocket with her... I can't even tell what hand that is anymore, her left hand.
And you don't see that often in boulder
Wow.
competitions. Figure of 4 from Jain Kim. We normally see that in ice climbing and dry
Yeah.
tooling.
Awesome.
Where it worked a treat. Jain Kim secured the bonus.
Nice.
And now she's just heading for the top. Just.
Oh, and where her left foot is, it's very slippery on that hold.
Yeah, they're dual texture, those holes.
Yeah, nice. Doesn't seem to be an issue for her, though.
And yeah,
She's pretty happy with that.
she's very happy with that. And interestingly as well, she started to slap the hold, and then you could see in her mind she just thought, oh, control it.
Yeah. If you have one hand in control and you slap with the other hand, that also doesn't count as a top.
Watch it again, she's slapping it, and then she thinks, oh, I've got to hold it.
Yeah.
There we go. You can see there.
So the top didn't actually count until she controlled it with both hands. Had she dropped before that, or had the time run out before she had both hands securely on the hold, it wouldn't have counted.
So unfortunately, Jain can't make the podium. And that does enough to put her in 4th place. Out now, Rei Sugimoto. Oh no. No tops as yet this evening, so she can't make the podium either.
But if she does this in less than 5 attempts, she completes the boulder in less than 5 attempts, she'll move into 4th place instead of Jain.
Yeah, Jain Kim's just moved up to 4th there with Aya in 5th, but she can replace Jain, as you say. Again, I'm not even sure how to describe that move. It's kind of a figure of 4 with both legs.
Oh, and she just locks it off.
But that is
That's pretty impressive. It's not how we read it at all, is it?
pure power from Aya Ono. Aya Ono heading for a top. This, you have to feel that if Shauna Coxey is aware what's going on, she'll be quite happy about this, because if this boulder's not easy, relatively easy to top, she'll be thinking, well,
Oh, just not quite
Just
getting the height there.
just as I say, Shauna Coxey will be thinking, well, I can top this boulder, and if I top the boulder, I win the competition. So if people start heading back into isolation after a minute or two,
They're not heading back into isolation after
sorry.
this boulder, actually, but
of course it's the last boulder.
yeah. They head out basically into the crowd, somewhere where they can watch the last problem, watch the other competitors climb the last problem.
Shauna is out next as well.
So yeah, after the next climber, we'll see basically who will win, or possibly see if Yanya has a chance at winning again.
Just to get you up to date in the men's competition, even if Yene Kruder flashes this, he will tie Tomoa in tops, but he would have 1 less bonus. So he cannot win the competition. It will be Keita or Tomoa.
So definite gold for Japan,
Definite goal for Japan in the men's competition.
but yet to see who will take that gold.
It won't, unfortunately, be this man, Rei Sugimoto. But a top would be nice.
Always.
So now he will head right towards the top volume.
Oh, Oh,
So tenuous.
you can see, yeah, just how bad those holds are. I know Tomoa didn't make them look very bad at all, but I think they're pretty small.
That is the left hand of Aya Ono. And we can see, hopefully we get a good look at this move now. We think she'll need to rotate. That looks like a climber who has had 3 very difficult rounds in less than 24 hours.
And has given it her all on the last problem there. And not enough time for her to give one or another go, so. Oh.
So we won't have a top there. Men's or women's competition. Out comes Yane Kruder.
And Shauna Coxey.
Yeah, before Tomoa came out for Boulder 4, Yane was in with the shout for the win, but it's been taken away by Tomoa's performance. He will be on the podium though, Yane. Shauna Coxey, we've seen her put under real pressure last year. I remember in Chongqing, she was put under huge pressure and came out and delivered on the final boulder. If anything, the pressure's slightly less this time out in Nanjing. She's already got the lead. She doesn't need to reclaim it, but a top here will do the job.
We'll secure it for her. And I'm sure Shauna can tell from the crowd that somebody's topped this boulder already, and she knows she can do it.
You can hear the venue MC perhaps to our microphones. Come on, Shauna. You're watching Yane. Just like you know, Shauna has just dropped off the wall, so she won't flash the boulder. But she doesn't matter. She can use
as many tries, yeah.
Have 100 attempts if she wants, as long as she tops it.
Yeah. As long as she tops it, she's secured the win.
So let's have another look at Yane. Such a tenuous move up to the right.
Come on, Yane. Oh, sort of fumbling around with the feet there and just dropped off.
So Shauna back on. You can see the effort showing. This one counts. In the past, we've seen her come out for final boulders with the win already in the bag. Not the case this time.
Yeah. There we go. She secured that hold.
Looking very calm and collected all of a sudden.
Oh, no figure of 4 necessary.
No,
she can just hold that lock off.
The one-arm lock off and just rotates around. I think you could see from the look on her face that it took a lot of effort, but she got the job done, and I think she's about to get the job done here as well.
Come on, Shauna.
Shauna Coxey for the win.
Oh.
Slowly but surely.
Woo.
And she wins. Shauna Coxey will make it 2 wins and 1 second place in the first 3 World Cups of 2017.
Yeah, hardly looking like it was difficult at all.
And I'm not sure she's well aware that she's won, but she walks off. She actually just walked past us, just shaking her fingers. I wonder if she just strained something on that move that looked. It looked like she was trying pretty hard, but well within her abilities as she rotated round. I wonder if she's just injured herself. She just came off shaking her, looking at her tendons and shaking her hand. I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
I'd have thought going to bed with a gold medal tonight will ease the pain somewhat. Yeah, 2 wins and a second place for her so far. She had to top to win. She duly did so. So, can Yane claim another top?
Come on, Yane.
1:05 on the clock. We'll confirm in just a second how many attempts that boulder took Shauna, not that it matters.
I think it was just 2.
I'm pretty sure it was the second attempt.
And there we go, it's updated. Shauna, 4 tops in 12 attempts.
Let's have a look at Yane. Going for another top, his last chance, you would imagine. 40 seconds to go.
Maybe time? Oh, no. He's going to say no more attempts.
He's had enough. It looks like he's enjoyed himself this evening, though.
Always good to watch him climb.
Yeah, great to watch him climb. Great to have him really at the thick end of World Cups again.
Yeah, for sure.
Climber is super popular, understandably. Let's have another look at Shauna. This was the winning moment. She went up with the left hand.
Oh. Yeah, that looks like a tenuous move on those 2 fingers on her right hand.
And just did it nice and steadily. Eased her way up. Let's have another look at it from another angle. No problem. As soon as that right hand latched, there's never much danger of her not bringing the left to join it. Very solid hold.
Let's see if Miho can match that performance of Shauna.
Just to let you know, by the way, Yane Kruder will finish third, no matter what happens. Manuel Cornu. Currently sitting in 5th place, doesn't have a top.
Oh, Miho doing the face the crowd spin there.
There's so many different methods here.
Oh, not really sure what she wants to do with her feet. But figuring it out anyway.
And again, the 2 fingers in the pockets, trying to get a third in just to try and spread the load across the hand. But just about manages it.
Yeah.
And then from here, it's merely a case of finding somewhere to get your toe in and launch for the hold. And I was about to say just easing your way up to the top hole, but she lunged for it.
Shauna, I think, had her right foot on as well, and somewhere in that yellow hold. Miho only had her left foot on, so maybe that was the difference.
You can't really push off that left foot, can you? It's just taking a bit of weight off. It's not really, possibly not doing a huge amount to really propel you upwards.
Yeah. Not really sure.
So Manu, can he claim a top from this evening's final? Just moved up to 4th with that bonus. No tops. It's looking promising so far.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh, the feet cut off.
I thought he was going to recover it for a second. Looks like he did too.
He's one of those climbers you live with every move with him.
Yeah.
Miho Nanaka, meanwhile, on women's 4. Yes. So frustrating on women's 1. Didn't match the top correctly. Wasn't awarded it. Absolutely rightly by the judges, I should add. No real controversy over it. But very unfortunate start for her. Now she seems to have these moves halfway sorted.
Yeah.
Uses a similar beater again. And just catches the swing with the right hand.
That's good. Sometimes when you're sort of fumbling around so much like that, you can forget by the second try what you did, which is really frustrating.
It's a good point you make, actually, when moves are that complicated.
When you try so many different things. Come on, Miho.
So will she jump? She does jump,
no.
and she doesn't make it.
Just doesn't have it in there this time.
Had enough. 35 seconds to go. She heads in.
Let's see if Manu can do this. I think he needs his right toe on, not his heel. See if he can switch it. Oh.
That's 2 quite heavy falls he's taken, Manu.
Yeah.
Let's have another look at Miho's final attempts on women's 4.
Oh no, so close.
It's a by the standards of work at finals, a relatively good hold. If you just got that couple of centimetres higher and latched it, probably have been away. So Manuel Cornu finishes this Boulder final without a top. Unfortunately, he's in 4th place as things stand.
I know you said he took quite a heavy fall there, and I think he took a few last competition than the last finals as well. He was telling me we were training together in between in Shanghai, and he was saying that he was still sore, I think 2 or 3 days later, from a heavy fall he had taken on Boulder 4. So, yeah, a question on Twitter from Rianichi. In between comps, do competitors train in gyms together on purpose or coincidentally? it's on purpose. It's fully on purpose. Yeah, we're all visitors in these countries, and most of us are good friends too. So it's really cool to go to the gym and get to climb with a bunch of really strong climbers. You don't always get the chance when you're training to just have a fun session with a bunch of super strong people. So it's actually just fun. And Jongwon has just secured the top. I think that was a flash.
Jongwon Chon waves to the crowd. He won't win as he did last week in Chongqing. Another strong performance from him. He was sitting in 6th. He'll now move up to 4th with that top, move ahead of Manuel Cornu. So he'll finish his final on 1 top. There he is. It was a flash. 4th place
Awesome.
for him. So 4th decided, 3rd decided Yunei Kruder.
And 5th and 6th also decided.
And 5th and 6th decided.
Yeah.
Just one position up for grabs. First.
Yeah. We'll see if Keita can do this problem, then he wins. If he can't, then he stays 2nd.
He's currently trailing Tomoe Narasaki. Tomoe's got 3 tops in 6 attempts. Keita's got 3 tops in 8 attempts, hence Tomoe having the lead. Fewer attempts. But if Keita tops it, he wins the competition. Meanwhile, we're focused on Mei Kotake.
Oh, just not quite getting the precision to hit that big pocket.
I don't think this has been a round that suited the smaller climber, particularly in the women's side of things.
No, it doesn't seem that way. And there are a few smaller climbers here. Oh, but she's stuck it anyway.
We were talking earlier about how it's not just about what your body shape is, it's about how you maximize that body shape. And we see it, another possible attempt at a figure of 4.
Yeah, but Mei really shows that. She's smaller than other climbers and she knows it, and she makes it work for her size. For example, on problem 1, when she was running into the start position, on problem 2, where she tried at first that creative solution of putting her feet above her head to get to the bonus hold.
So here she goes, 45 seconds on the clock.
Yes, come on, Mei. Figure it out, come on.
You can see the cogs turning.
Yeah.
She's just trying to figure out all these different methods.
She's so spanned there. It's so long for her. Come on.
Oh, it's a horrible feeling that you can feel it on the top of your shoulders.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
you can tell she's just...
Oh, she's going to give
It's
it
just a
one
long way.
last attempt, I think. She doesn't have a lot of time.
This will be for just a bonus, you would imagine, time-wise. She's been... Take your time on previous attempts. This time it's just going to have to be all or nothing. 8 seconds to go.
Oh, and
no.
she misses the pocket.
Looks like she's enjoyed her evening's work, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did really well. I believe this is her 2nd finals. Her first being last year, Chongqing 2015. Yeah.
How good are your geek skills? Yes.
I was in Chongqing last year, and I remember it being her first final, so...
Yeah, Chongqing 2016. So out comes Yanya Garnbrett. She's already 2nd. Actually, what she does here won't change anything.
I don't know if she knows that, though.
She probably doesn't know that, no. It's actually on the massive scoreboard behind her, so if she looks, she'll find out, but I suspect she's far too focused on the boulder for that.
And I'm sure it won't matter to her whether or not she does the boulder. It won't change whether or how hard she'll try.
So casual on that lock-off. Meanwhile, on men's 4, Keita Watabe is out, and he can win here. He just has to top the boulder.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, but one thing working to his advantage, whether he knows it or not, is that attempts are irrelevant.
Yes.
He can just go for this. He's got 3 minutes to either get the job done or not. Third in Meiringen, so he's already been on the podium this year. How he would love a win. Join the illustrious list of recent Japanese World Cup winners. Okay, so he lines it up. 2:30 to go. Really taking his time. This for the win. He latches the right hand. Just adjusts the feet. Keita for the win. He's fighting. He's done it.
Awesome.
He has done it.
And I think he knows it.
Keita Watabe, World Cup winner. Janja Garnbret also top. Doesn't affect her result, second place. But Keita Watabe.
Wow, what a performance tonight.
Probably knew he's just come off the stage. Actually, he's walking very close to our commentary box. Everyone shake his hand. I think he was well aware of what was required there and what was at stake, and he got the job done.
Yeah, for sure.
We're just waiting for a replay on Janja Garnbret, and then we'll give you the confirmed results as they come in. So, a fantastic evening of bouldering here in Nanjing. It's the current ranking in the IFSC. I don't think those are updated just yet. I'll let you know. Here we go, Keita Watabe, a clean sweep, 4 tops. It took him 9 attempts to get them. Nobody else managed that. And that's a route setter's dream. 4 tops for the winner, 3 tops for second place, 2 tops for third place. Couldn't be any better. So Keita Watabe wins it ahead of Tomoa Narasaki and Yunei Kruda. Jongwon Chon, who won a week ago, and Chongqing takes 4th. Manuel Kornu and Rei Sugimoto. 3 bonuses, but no tops for them. Keita Watabe, your men's champion today here in Nanjing. Just hanging on for the women's results. Fantastic competition. Alana, how did you enjoy this evening's action?
It was really, really exciting. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked Keita's top on problem 1. That was just before that 4-minute buzzer, because it's a sort of a point in favor of the 4 minutes, not 4 minutes plus, that he had to run up that slab problem. That was really exciting.
You can see there, that is actually a live picture. The route setter's already at work. Let's have a quick look at Tomoa Narasaki. We were talking about this move earlier, the beginning of the cartwheel move.
Just tipping over there.
That was it. You could see the difference there. It was still halfway light here in Nanjing, now completely dark. Back then there was still a bit of light in the sky. We had to have a look at Tomoa, no problem on the top out.
Yeah, he did it so fast. Oh,
There was Shauna.
such a cool looking jump.
If memory serves me right, that was her first. It was a flash on.
No,
women's one.
Janja flashed
You're
women's
right.
one. I think it took her 5 tries or something.
It's been pretty wall-to-wall action actually. Often in boulder finals we can have long periods where people are on the mat studying. We haven't had that tonight. And
No.
my brain is already forgetting who flashed what.
Yeah.
I mean, just to let you know, we are waiting for the complete women's scores, and there they are. We don't have. There we go. Jain Kim's score updates as we speak. So Shauna Coxey again, 4 tops to win it. And once again, a route setter's dream. 4 tops for first place. Janja Garnbret in second with 3 tops. And Miho Nanaka, 2 tops. Should possibly have been 3. She takes third place. Jain Kim, 4th place. Fantastic result for her. Aya Ono and Kotake rounding out the top 6.
Just noting that the splits, the tops are pretty similar for the guys and the girls. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0.
The route setters couldn't really have done a much better job.
No, not really. That's pretty good.
Alana, thank you very much for your company this evening. Fantastic commentary. Thank you for answering all the questions.
Of course.
And thank you to the route setters for a fantastic evening here in Nanjing. The Boulder athletes are back in action in just 1 week's time in Tokyo. We'll see you then.